Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to shake your world. I want to wake up the fire inside you, the one that's been buried under doubt, fear, and low expectations, because today we're talking about the one thing that separates the winners from the quitters, the fulfilled from the frustrated, the unstoppable from the stuck. And that one thing is your standards. And everything you have in your life right now, the quality of your relationships, your financial situation, your health, your happiness is a direct reflection of the standards you have set for yourself. Most people don't realize this, but we don't get what we wish for, and we don't even get what we work for. We get what we tolerate. We get what we demand. If you want to see real change, you have to start by looking at the standards you've been living by and decide if they are truly serving you. The reality is, we all have invisible rules we follow about what is acceptable and what is not. Some people refuse to live in financial struggle. They find a way to thrive no matter what. Others accept financial instability as a part of life, something outside of their control. The only difference between these two groups is their standard. If you tolerate being out of shape, if you refuse to accept anything less than a strong, healthy body, you will push yourself to eat right, train, and develop the discipline required. It's not a matter of luck or willpower. It's a matter of what you demand from yourself. The same applies to your career, your relationships, and your overall sense of fulfillment. The moment you raise your standards is the moment everything shifts. It's not about wanting more. It's about refusing to settle for less. Most people set their expectations based on their past experiences or what society tells them is possible. But the truth is, your standards are yours to define. You get to decide what is acceptable in your life and what is not. The question is, what are you willing to no longer tolerate? When you raise your standards, everything in your life begins to shift. It's not just about setting bigger goals or wishing for better outcomes. It's about changing what you will no longer accept. People who transform their lives don't do it because they got lucky. They do it because they decided they would no longer tolerate mediocrity. They refuse to live with excuses, and they refuse to let fear hold them back. When you set a new standard, you don't just hope for change, you create it. You start taking different actions, making different choices, and demanding more from yourself. It's not about willpower, it's about identity. The moment you say, this is who I am, and I don't accept anything less, your behaviors align with that belief. Look at any area of your life where you feel stuck, and you'll find that the real issue isn't a lack of opportunity or resources. It's a lack of high standards. People who create financial freedom don't just wish for it, they commit to it. People who build extraordinary relationships don't just hope for love, they invest in it. People who achieve incredible levels of success don't just want it, they demand it from themselves. The truth is, you always get what you settle for. If you've been accepting less than you deserve, it's because on some level, you've allowed it. The good news is, at any moment, you can choose to change your standards and rewrite the rules of what's possible for you. This isn't about external circumstances, it's about an internal shift. The world doesn't determine what you get, you do. The minute you decide to raise your standards, you'll begin to see a completely different level of results. The difference between people who achieve massive success and those who struggle isn't talent, luck, or intelligence. It's the standard they set for themselves. The language you use in your mind determines the actions you take. And there is a world of difference between saying, I should, and saying, I must. When something is just a should, it's negotiable. It's something you'd like to have, but if it doesn't happen, you can live with it. On the other hand, when something becomes a must, it's non-negotiable. It's something you will find a way to make happen no matter what. The truth is, most people have long lists of things they say they should do. They should get healthier. They should make more money. They should start that business. But because they haven't made those things a must, they never fully commit. And the moment you turn a should into a must, you change your entire approach. You stop making excuses and you start getting results. Think about the moments in your life when you absolutely had to make something happen, when you had no other option but to succeed. In those moments, you found a way. You became resourceful. You pushed through obstacles. You didn't allow distraction. That's the power of turning a should into a must. It forces you to operate at a higher level. It rewires your mind to focus on solutions instead of problems. It demands that you rise up, take action, and refuse to settle. The only difference between people who create extraordinary lives and those who don't is that successful people demand more from themselves. They don't just want it, they require it. Your standards are not just goals or desires. They are a direct reflection of your identity. The way you see yourself dictates what you will and will not accept in life. If you identify as someone who always follows through, you won't tolerate excuses. If you see yourself as a leader, you won't allow yourself to shrink in the face of challenges. If you believe you are disciplined, skipping a workout or breaking commitment will feel completely out of character. Your identity shapes your behaviors, and your behaviors create your results. The problem most people face is that they try to change their actions without first changing their identity. They set goals to lose weight, make more money, or improve their relationships, but deep down they still see themselves as the same person who struggles in those areas. When your identity doesn't align with your goals, you will always sabotage your progress. The key to lasting change is not just raising your standards, it's fully embodying the person who naturally achieves what you want. When you adopt the mindset of someone who is already successful, your actions follow automatically. You won't have to force discipline or motivation because your standards will make those behaviors second nature. Think about someone who is truly committed to fitness. They don't have to push themselves to work out every day. It's just who they are. A world-class entrepreneur doesn't need to remind themselves to be resourceful and persistent. It's embedded in their identity. If you want to create a breakthrough, stop focusing solely on the external results you want and start shifting the way you see yourself. When you fully embrace a new identity, your actions will align with that identity effortlessly, and success will become inevitable. Take a look at your life and ask yourself where you have been settling for less than you truly deserve. Where have you allowed yourself to make excuses instead of taking action? The truth is, most people go through life accepting limitations that are entirely self-imposed. They tell themselves stories about why they can't have what they want, why success is for other people, and why they should be content with where they are. But the only reason they remain stuck is that they have accepted a lower standard for themselves. The moment you decide that you will no longer tolerate anything less than excellence, your life begins to change. You stop allowing negative thoughts to dictate your actions. You stop surrounding yourself with people who drag you down. You stop engaging in habits that do not serve your highest potential. Instead, you start demanding more from yourself in every area. You push yourself to grow, to improve, to evolve. You raise the bar on what you expect from your health, your finances, your relationships, and your career. And when you do this, the world around you adjusts to meet your new standard. People treat you differently because you carry yourself differently. Opportunities appear because you are now operating at a higher level. You attract success because you refuse to settle for anything less. This is not about hoping for change or wishing things would be different. It is about making an internal decision that transforms the way you show up in life. When you refuse to accept mediocrity, you create the conditions for greatness. The choice is always yours and the power has always been within you. The question is, how much longer will you allow yourself to live below your true potential? Most people go through life waiting for things to change. They wait for the right opportunity, the perfect timing, or some external force to push them into action. But the truth is, waiting is the fastest way to stay stuck. Nothing changes until you decide to change. The most successful people in the world didn't sit around hoping for a miracle. They took control of their destiny. They made a decision that they would no longer tolerate excuses, and they committed to taking massive action. The power to transform your life has always been in your hands. The moment you stop blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck, you reclaim that power. You realize that you are the creator of your own success, and that realization is what separates those who achieve from those who struggle. Taking full responsibility for your life is not always comfortable, but it is necessary. It means letting go of the belief that you are a victim of your environment. It means understanding that your results are a direct reflection of the choices you make every single day. When you own your decisions, you also own the ability to change them. The challenge is that most people fear taking responsibility because it forces them to confront the truth about why they are where they are. But facing that truth is the first step toward transformation. It gives you the power to rewrite your story, to shift your mindset, and to take consistent action toward your goals. The moment you decide that you are in control, everything begins to shift. You stop waiting, you stop hoping, and you start creating. The difference between success and mediocrity is not talent or resources. It is the decision to take responsibility and act with urgency.